Okay, good afternoon. So today we will discuss about dashboard development using Streamlit. Let me just share my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay. Uh, we already know how to create a dashboard using Streamlit. I have showed you that uh, I think week 0. But today we will mainly focus on the data visualization uh, tips and design thinking, etc. Design thinking, it's a design methodology that provides a solution-based approach to solve problems, and it involves asking different questions, right? So the first question would be, what's the purpose of the dashboard we are planning to create, and for who we are creating it, and why? We need to ask those questions and try to uh, answer them before we start developing the dashboard. So the next is we need to identify the most important content we want to show in our dashboard, right? When you do the EDA, the descriptive statistics, the modeling, the time series data analysis, you will have a lot of results, right? But you must uh, identify the most important contents for your dashboard. You can't simply just put everything in the dashboard. Uh, the other uh, thing is data ink ratio on your graph so that it can be appealing, right? So not too colorish, or yeah, you have to think about that. And also when you put numbers, you have to give a context to it, right? When you say 100 total sold, uh, what does that mean compared to what? That representation or that number must say something. So you have to give it a context. And then you need to use the most efficient visualization for a particular information, which chart is appropriate for presentation or for that particular um, information. We will see some of them, and then you need to round numbers, right? If you see this number in percent, it's that's like 2,356,124.22, right? We can't put this in a dashboard or in any presentation, so we have to round it, right? That's like 2.36 million, right? Um, this is not a percent actually. This is just for when I copied it. This shouldn't be there. So numbers has to be rounded up. They have to be appealing. And the other is you need to group related matrices. You have to be consistent. Yeah, you need to show hierarchy and also use clear labels and axes. Also, even a title. It depends on the information that you want to present. Sometimes we may not need the XY labels, right? I would show you that one. And remember, it's for people, right? And those people might not know the things you did behind the scene to get that visualization, right? So you have to make it easy for the audience, and don't overdo it. As I said earlier, don't put everything um, in your presentation or in your slide, and then keep it evolving. That means you can update it now and then until it makes sense and easy to follow, right? So this are some of the things we need to think about before we start creating the dashboard. These are called design thinking. We will see them, some of them. Um, are there any question? Is it clear? All right. Um, so, what makes a good dashboard? Uh, if I give you two dashboards, and how can you say this is good or this is bad? Uh, so it depends on what you want to achieve, right? So to achieve reliability, you need to understand the data and the calculations, which means if your data or calculation is wrong, definitely your dashboard will be wrong, right? Um, for example, while you are talking about a time series data, or I mean, at categorical data, and if you present your visuals using, for example, bar chart, that might not make sense, right? So you need to understand the data and the calculation behind, so that the dashboard is reliable, and it has to be, I mean, to achieve a performance, you need to have a good solution architecture and data modeling. To clearly communicate, you need to have good visualizations. For usability, you need to understand each user, because some audience might not be technical. When you present for a technical person and for a non-technical person, it should differ. You have to adapt depending on the audience. And finally, the business value. For that, you need to really understand the business objective. So what's the main objective of this week's project, right? So when you understand that, then you will achieve the business value in your dashboard. So these are some of the um, concepts that you need to consider to have a good dashboard. Um, all right. So mainly when we talk about dashboard, it's mainly data visualization, right? So how does it work? Why do we use charts, diagrams, colors, etc. to show or to present our ideas? That's because our brains are much faster at processing visual information than plain text, right? There is a saying, right? Uh, one picture is more than 1,000 words, something like that, right? So our brain can process those visuals uh, than the plain text. That's why we need data visualization, right? Now I'm going to ask you a question. How does, I mean, how many fives are in this number? Can anyone tell me? I'm gonna leave it for a minute, not that long, and then you give me the answer. Look for the number five. Can you find it easily? Anyone? Open your mic and say something. If you count them and tell me how many are there.
Hello.
How many?
I think I saw six, but it was very hard to detect them.
Exactly. Um, anyone else? All right. This just to to give you the perspective how uh, different elements of a visualization will make it easier. If I do this, now you can clearly see the number 5, right? What we did here is we simply make the number 5 bold, and this allows us to easily identify the number 5, right? Um, you have a good eye, Abraham. You select that's 6. All right, you get the idea, right? Yeah. So to give those visualization a good what we call it perspective, we use different elements. It can be length, it can be width, or orientation, or size, a shape, like the circle in the triangle there, right? We can easily identify from a group or from a visual. We might use enclosing or a position, a grouping, a color, a brightness, etc. So using these elements, we can give a user a feeling for an easy understanding, for an easy understanding. Um, so we can do that in a different way, right? So instead of this, look here, not here. What you can do is you can make this bold, right? And then you can what you call it, change the hue or the the size, right? So this is not good, right? Look here, not here. Instead, if you don't want someone to give emphasis on this part, you can change its font, its size, whatever you can do to make this one more visible, right? So look here, not here. You see, this is more visible, and the user or the audience will uh, put his attention on this one rather than this one, right? So we follow such uh, strategies to put the idea correctly, like this one. What's important in your so you want to put this in your dashboard. From this, is the title or the amount more important, right? uh, Anytime it's usually going to be the amount, right? So you can make that important than the title, than the total sale. So you can put it like this, right? This is a design thinking. um, and this one, here you have different data, and by just looking at the data, you can't identify anything from here, right? If you check the mean and the standard deviation, they all have the same mean and the same standard deviation. 9, I mean 9. This comma, by the way, it's for a decimal point. Some countries use comma, some countries use dot. For us, it's a dot, right? It's like 10.00, 8.04. Don't confuse with that. So the mean here is 9, here is 9, here is 9, here is 9, right? So this visualization doesn't give us anything except they all have the same statistics or mean and standard deviation, but we cannot see clearly how the data is distributed and how the X is affecting Y, etc. Right? For that, we need to put different types of charts. So if we put them like this, we can say something about the data, right? As you can see, there's a relationship, even like linear, except this one, this is like an outlier. Uh, there is a pattern. We can see the data, right? We can say something about it. right? So we need to put the data points into visual. That's why we need different charts. Wow. Sorry. And the other one is axis and levels. Axis and levels. These two figures give the same information, right? But as you can see, this one is more cleaner than this one, right? Here, we know that the x-axis is number of users and the y-axis is country, right? We don't need to specify or put it here, right? Because it's taking a space, and that's why the graph is zoomed in, right? So this can be removed because these are countries. We know these are the country names, right? And this is number of users because the title says so. Total users in 2019 in different countries. That's what it means, right? So which means we can remove these two. This we are doing removing cluttering, what we call that, right? And as you can see, these numbers, they are very big and they are not even important. If we are talking about a number in millions, we can approximate it, as we said earlier. So this can be like 0.4 million, 3.9 million, 2.0 million, 1.5 million, etc. So putting all those, we get this one. So this is more professional than this one, right? We are removing some clutters like this one, and also we round the numbers. The things that we were discussing at the beginning, during the design thinking. I hope this is clear. The other one is use of colors, right? What these two uh, gives the same information, right? But when you see this, what does red mean? Does it have a different meaning? Does it contain any information? No, there is nothing, right? So unless there is a legend that will specify what red means, green means, etc., you need to use a uniform color, a uniform color. So this is the appropriate one than this one. You don't need different colors. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still on. Any question? Um, what do you mean undefined? Well, I think most people are busy. Okay. Five fives. Yapsra, what is this? And Matthias undefined. I don't understand those. Is it a question or what? Guys, please speak up. Oh, sorry. I got it now. Yeah. Since I'm sharing the entire screen, and when I'm at the slide, I can't see the Google Meet. That's why. But it would be great if you guys speak up. All right. If it's clear, let's just move on. The second one is chart type. Chart type. These two, I mean, they give the same information, but this one is confusing than this one, right? Uh, we usually use a line chart when it's a trending, when it's something changing in time, right? Or something changing against something. But in this case, there are categories. like chairs, couches, rugs, etc. And there is no trend or continuity kind in this uh, information. So this is the or actual target percent. That's the percentage, right? This doesn't seem right. It looks like it's something in time, but the X levels, they are not time. Rather, it's a category, right? So instead, we can use column bars or bar chart, right? This is more appropriate than this one. It's because these are categorical data, categorical data. Um, and the other one, the case against pie charts. If I ask you which one is greater, is it consumer or that's this one, home office, or consumer, right? What you do is you will go here and check the numbers, right? So there is a lot of eye movement to interpret or to get the information out of this pie chart, right? Um, how much percent does the corporate covers? Yeah, you can just do that and subtract that and may say something like, I don't know, 35% or something, right? So to get the whole information out of this pie chart takes a lot of eye movement, a lot of thinking, right? But we can put the same information using a horizontal bar chart, right? As you can see, the small businesses, they are like about 27% of the total, um, and the total is like 1.68 million. That's this one, right? So this doesn't take much thinking or eye movement to get the information. And the corporate is the highest. Of course, we can check that. But if you want to compare the yellow and the green, you need to get the numbers, right? But here, clearly, the home office is greater than the consumer, right? So it, the pie chart design is not appropriate. You can use it, but it takes time and energy to get the information out of it. That's what I want to say. The other one is color association. This one is like the earlier. When you present two different pictures, uh, and if there is no any association between them, don't use the same color. That's what here shows, right? It looks like this and this looks like the Brazil uh, current month sale. So there is no association between these two. There is no association. This reflects like countries, but this reflects the categories, right? So yeah, color association, you have to be careful. Positioning, uh, when people try to understand information, they start usually at the top left corner, right? At this point. So at this point, you need to give the higher information, right? Like 20% increase in sales this month. That can be put at this position, right? And then if you give more details, the next will be this position, and then this position, and finally this position. So usually these two are the micro ones, and the macro ones and the micro ones. So the movement of the audience is usually from 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is a good positioning. And when you move around, if it's the same formation, you are giving the border and the detail. I hope this is clear. The other one is breakdown and prioritization. Given this graph, to get the actual information, you need to break them down and then prioritize it. What can we see here? So here we have the budget, right? The light gray one, and you have the actual. This doesn't tell us much about the variance. It says actual to budget variance, 1,000 in euro, right? So to do that, we need to break them down. So what are the metrics? The metrics are the actual, the budget, and the variance. We get it from the title, right? And the attribute is a week, first week, second week, up to the 12th week, right? So what information do we want to know, right? For example, this is budget over time, right? This is actual over time, but we don't know the variance over time, either in euros or in percent, right? So we need to get the whole information, we need to prioritize. This only tells us these two, the budget over time, the actual over time, but it doesn't tell us the variance, right? So this would be much easy to understand if we do this. We take this to be the priority. That's variance over time. That's what the title says, right? So I mean this one. Instead of getting the actual amount, we take the percentage, which means we going to take the what you call it, the budget, to be like 0, and then we take the a percentage of variance of the actual. When we do that, this will give us the overall variance over time. So the minimum variance was like about 30%, and the maximum variance was like, I don't know, 35%, right? So this is better than this one, as you can see. I mean, if you actually presenting the actual to budget variance, right? Um, and we can do another example here. This is the brand. This is a unit sold, right? The title is not given here, right? And here we have the months, right? So what are the metrics? There is something about the share. Okay, so the metrics are units sold and the share. How is that related? Is it related to this one? No, it's not. And the attributes are the brand and the month. That's okay, because we have the brand and we have the X values. These are the independent variables, the brands and the months, right? So this figure tries to show the total units sold over time, the brand units sold over time, and the brand share over time, and the total brand share over time, right? So depending on the information, this is a stack bar, right? So it's better to first get the total unit sold and put everything in one color. That's a concise information, like this one, right? That's unit sold. That's it. That's the total unit sold over time. 46K, 43K, etc. We put the total. And if you want to get the brand share over time, what you can do is you can do heat map. But still, this is a bit confusing, right? As you can see, brand C uh, has the highest one, and D also. But from here, as you can see, there is a dip between week 2 and week 4, week 3. That means there is a decrease between these 2 weeks. Uh, so from this, you can say something about it, but it doesn't actually uh, give you the whole idea of the data. What we can do is we can use area map or area plot, right? Unit sold, share, brand. In this case, the brand unit sold over time. This is more clearer than the previous one. As you can see earlier, the decrease in D between this, we can see it clearly here. And also the percent shares of A. If you want to get that, you have to calculate the shares here. And this is not good, as good as this one, right? So depending on the question you want to answer, you can uh, prioritize those questions and then get or use the appropriate chart. Are there any questions? Any question? Is it clear? Okay. All right. Um, so in summary, a good visualization, that means a good dashboard, it has to be simple, which means you have to present your visualization efficiently for decision making, right? It has to be clean, like you have to remove cluttered elements, as we saw earlier, little representation, and you have to use wise visual elements, the chart type, the color, the text, everything matters in your visualization. And also the objective, right? Yeah, that's how we design or develop a dashboard. But for the technical part, you already know how to set up or use a Streamlit. But let me try to show you how to Dockerize your app. Um, yeah, it's also possible to deploy it on Heroku or even in Streamlit. Uh, I'm gonna try to do that, but yeah, the last time, if you remember, we developed our dashboard. Let me. I know it's Streamlit. Ram home. This was the app that we built last time during Quick Zero, right? So if you browse your data and you put your uh, what you call it, and then you get the dashboard, right? The next step is to deploy this or containerize this application, right? For containerization, we can use Docker, and that can be easily done by simply writing a Docker file, right? The Docker file, uh, it just commands that you use to run the app, right? So before we run this, we install the dependencies, right? And then we use Streamlit run home.py. So in the container, those steps will be done, right? So to execute those, we write a Docker file. There is no extension file name for Docker file. It should be a capital D Docker file. That's it. And from you specify the Python version, and then the working directory in the container. You call it app or whatever you want, and then you copy the requirements text dot text. That means this requirement dot txt file into the app file, into the app directory. That's what this does. Once you copy that, run the pip 3 install minus r requirements.py. It will run this, which means it's going to install all the dependencies in the container or in the image, right? And then you expose the port like this one, right? My port is here, local host colon 8501. That's the port for Streamlit, right? This is a local port. So this will be the port number. You have to expose it. And then copy dot, that means copy everything into the app. Copy everything into the app. That means it will include the page numbers, etc. Right? Let me, yeah, those page numbers. Which means if we don't do this, these pages will not be inside the app. Inside the app, we only have the requirement files, right? We have to include the others too. And then we specify the entry point. The entry point is this one. Just run that. That's it. So the second one is the CMD, which is home.py. You can write this both in one line if you want. You can say CMD streamlit run home.py. You can say that, but sometimes they split it into entry point and a command. Right. So once you write this, then you can build it, right? And then you can run it wherever you want. That's how we containerize the app. If I say, let me just open a new terminal. Sudo docker. No, no, I just want to see this. I want to check first what image I have, right? This is the app that I created earlier, the latest app. That's 2 hours ago. 2 days ago, that's, where is it? Postgres, 2 months ago, 9 months ago. So the latest is 2 hours ago, which is this app. And 2 days ago, that's the Flask app that I showed you on Tuesday or somewhere. So in my Docker, I have those images, right? My next step is to create the image. So to create the image, this is what you will do, right? Sudo docker run -p this my app. I think this should be, no, this is for running. We want to build it, right? If we want to build it, it should be here. Where is it? Yeah, we can. Let me open the folder with this one. I think this is, you have to be in the same directory. If you want to, we already know the image, and those are that one. So this is how you build it. Sudo docker build -t. You pass a tag, right? Now what I want to do is I want to change this to up to, and then give it a tag, right? Latest 2, and you want to build it here. So if you run that, it will ask you your password. What it does is it will run the Docker file step by step. That's what it means. As you can see, this is for the Python Slim Buster, and then it copy where is it? No, it sets the working directory, and it copy the requirement.txt, and then it runs the app, and then it exports. So sign into Docker account and view the summary of the image if you want. Now let's check if our image is created, right? We say Docker image, and if we do that, it will be here. As you can see, that's the repository in the Docker, and that's the tag we gave it, and that's 30 seconds before, right? So the main thing is how you write this Docker image, right? This is how you containerize it. Now you can run it. What you can do is this one, sudo docker run -p latest 2 up to, right? If you run that, you will have a different host, not the local host. This is the containerized one. So if you click that, you will have the app. As you can see, it's not local anymore. It's containerized inside the Docker, which means you created your Docker image successfully. There's another external URL also. Yeah. The other is if you want to run it, deploy it into Heroku, you need to add the proc file and also the setup.sh file. The proc file and the setup.sh, this is a batch file. The proc file is very easy. Web sh setup.sh. This name has to be the same as the setup.sh, and then Streamlit run home. That's how we run the app, right? So this is how you create your proc file. It has to be capital P, right? And then the sh file, make the directory .streamlit already. This is the configuration file for Streamlit, and then you echo the email, your email address, and then your credentials, etc. You expose the port, and then you will write the or do the. This is a basic setup for Heroku. Once you have done this, you have to push this into your GitHub, and then on Heroku, you will select the GitHub link, and then you deploy it. Yeah, that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. Is it clear? Hello? I think so. Yeah, there is a free. Yeah, you will have a 1 gigabyte data storage, and even unlimited or something. It's possible to deploy some applications, or yeah, you can follow their official website. It's not uh, difficult. Yeah, I will share it immediately, Matthias. Is it clear? Let me just stop the recording, and right.